Good afternoon, all. We'll call the meeting of the Greenwood Board of Public Works and Safety order for January 22, 2025 at 5:30 p.m. Roll call, please.
Mr. Hoover,
Here.
Mr. Colvin,
Here.
and let it show for the record that Mr. Rutherford is absent.
Which means that Mr. Culver and I are going to have to agree on anything or nothing will happen.
So
We're
I'll go
usually,
home now.
we're usually pretty agreeable. Okay. The minutes of the regular session of our last meeting, January 5, 2025, been distributed to members of the board as well as staff. Any corrections, additions, or deletions from staff?
Move for approval.
I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next, we're going to talk to Mr. Phillips. How are you, Matt?
Hi, this is Chief Dolworth. We're here tonight, we're just requesting to dispose of 17 old office chairs.
Because they're not suitable for their intended use. Is that correct?
They're old, they're all worn out, so we're replacing them.
Kind of like Jimmy.
Well, I wish.
Yeah.
Get rid of Jimmy. I remember for a week.
Careful, we're still being recorded. Any questions for?
I move for approval.
Second that, further discussion, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
Thank you.
Thanks. Other chief.
Good evening, board. Jamie Michelle, Fire Chief. I'm here to request approval of election for merit commission board. We have a couple of our merit commission board members who their terms are expiring, so we need to hold the election for the response.
And they are fire department personnel designees.
This is resolution 2304, so yeah, it'll be held at the fire department. I believe it's 5 days.
Okay.
For that to happen. So,
I'll move for approval of that request.
Second.
Further discussion, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion
Thank you.
passes.
Thank you, board.
Thanks, Chief. Lisa?
Good evening, gentlemen. Lisa Vest, Director of Human Resources. This evening, I'm bringing forward a job description for a new position for the fire department. It is going to be introduced to the council this evening. It is for a mobile integrated health coordinator. What this position would be is an EMT level person that would have to do some state required training and certifications to be able to fully be qualified for the position. And if they do not have the EMTB certification, they have to have it within 18 months. So this is something that they want to add. And the reason for adding this is what this person will do is be utilized as a local resource for patient assessments, follow-up care and compliance. They'll do screenings for depression, also substance abuse. They're going to do follow-ups for care and compliance. And then they will work with providers to coordinate care for these folks. It's going to take away the responsibility of basically having an engine run out there for someone who calls 911 for these different things that could be taken care of without bringing an engine in. So if it's non-emergent, this person would facilitate the care for the patient that is needed, as long as it's not a 911 call requiring more than this particular person. They will assist with outreach products and put them in the right directions. They're also going to check eligibility for their Medicaid, Medicare. If they don't have it, they're going to assist with helping them to obtain coverage, to recertify their coverage, and just helping manage their care to make sure that they're being, where they might need some help instead of calling 911 because, you know, they might need a direction to go in, and that's who they've relied upon before by sending out firefighters and EMTs. This particular person will be directly taking care of these types of patients.
Sounds like a good plan and use of resources. Jeff, any questions?
No, I would move that we approve the request.
I will second that. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks, Lisa. Mr. Petty, there you are.
I'm just here tonight that we've had another vehicle involved in an accident that the insurance company's deemed a total loss. So I'm just asking the board to release a 2023 Dodge Charger, BIN number ending 592845, and authorize me to settle the total loss claim with Travelers and Huntington Bank for the amount of $32,033 after our deductible and the outstanding balance that would give us, the city should receive $11,087.27.
Any questions for Todd?
I move for approval.
I will second that. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Todd. Jack? Thanks, got a bunch of them on here tonight.
Good evening.
You.
Checking if your street superintendent. Come for the board to ask the board permission to enter into contracts and have legal draw of the contracts with the tire suppliers. The tire suppliers will be best one of Indy, on tire, and Latin tire.
You have, I have from best one. Is there more? So are there three of them, three
Yeah.
separate contracts?
Best one of Indy, Pumps Tire, and Whiteland Tire.
I've got the best one.
I do too.
They're all the same.
They're all gonna be the same, yes.
Well, I move we approve those for all of those three tire suppliers.
I'll second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Then we're gonna talk about some sign companies.
Second one. Come to ask the board for permission to enter into contracts not to exceed 50,000 each and legal withdrawal of the contracts for sign supplies. And the sign suppliers we use are Unistrut Midwest, Mike Green Incorporated, All Signs, Osborne Associates, and Stella Products.
It's five different ones,
Correct.
all the same term.
I move we approve the request.
Second, further discussion. Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. What else you got?
Finally, the Green Street Department comes from the Board of Public Works and Safety to ask approval to enter into a contract with ERS Wireless and to have legal draw of the contract. The service is for a new repeater for our radio that we use to communicate.
That looks like the contract price on that is 32,000 and some change.
2,321.58.
I move that we approve that request.
And I'll second that. Further discussion. Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thanks, Jeff. Next, Thomas Loudermilk, 509 Pleasant Road Drive. And request to write off adjustment to sanitation. Mr. Loudermilk,
My-
over online?
My name is Tabitha. I'm sitting in for Thomas.
Okay. Tell us what we're doing.
Mr. Loudermilk wanted me to communicate that his concern is for sewer or sanitation is that his property currently doesn't have any facilities, no bathrooms, no anything. It's just an empty lot. And his concern was, well, not understanding why he would receive a bill for something that isn't utilized.
So,
So the property he had is across from the mall. They had
Yes.
flowers, the pumpkins or something during the
Spring.
fall. Because they have water service run to it, that automatically
Okay.
gets a sanitation account created with us. However, since they don't have any sanitary facilities, we don't have a process in our office to automatically take that off. So we recommended to Mr. Loudermilk, he would have to come to this board for approval to write off that sanitary side, since he doesn't actually have any sanitary facilities. It's just because the water company sent us, a new meter was installed on this property. Our process creates a new sanitation account with that automatically.
So would it'll take care of, if we approve it, it'll take care of the past bill, but what about future bills?
If they turn water back on in the future, it will create a new one, so.
So they'd have to come back.
If you want to give future approval, I can communicate that to the billing office, they can put that on, so that the next time that property comes up, they can mark it as doesn't have sanitary.
Greg, what do you think the total amount is right now?
I'm not sure what's on the account, I'd have to,
Seems to be like for 5 months,
yeah, it was only a few months,
September, October, November.
December. I would move that we approve the request to write off the charges, and also on the past ones, and on the future ones, if you feel comfortable monitoring that and making sure that the building isn't built there, that I know it's in
Should
a
it be
floodplain.
sold and something be built with a
Right.
permanent structure, we would have to capture that, so we would.
Right.
What I would suggest is to my staff, we'll put a note on it to check Beacon, make sure it's still in D-lock before we activate it or not.
I'll second that. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you, Greg. And thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next,
You
we'll
guys-
talk about 249 Madison, Crump. We have a memo from Paul Keone here. Are you
Yeah,
conversant on this?
it is a private development, doesn't have any public facilities, but we require a letter of credit or bond for any of their improvements. Jeff was out there, inspected, he was satisfied that they have built everything according to their plans. So they're asking for a release of the performance letter of credit.
And we acknowledge that the improvements are installed in reasonable compliance. I'll make that motion.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next, Shiloh's Corner, Derek Snyder. Anybody from Crossroads? And this is a
If
very,
we have anybody, they're asking for acceptance of the public sanitary sewers, the acceptance of the maintenance letter of credit for 3 years, and then the release of the performance letter of credit. We had a couple conditions on it, which is a receipt of the balance of the sanitary inspection and testing agreement, and then also the receipt of the digital as-bills. Since Paul put this together, we have received both of those, so we will not have any conditions on that.
Move for approval.
I'll second that after mentioning they've got one very attractive dentist tenant there. My God. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Nathan Barr from Kimley
Next
Horn.
one is a waiver for Greenville Village.
Hi, good evening. Nathan Barr, Kimley Horn. We are working on a redevelopment project for the Greenwood South facility. Our proposal, it includes adding a new wet pond near US 31. And due to elevation grades in the existing manor building, that would not be removed as part of this project. We are requesting a waiver for the 2 feet of freeboard for the wet pond. The request is for a 1 foot freeboard instead.
Mr. Pick, what's your take on this?
Yeah, Paul and I looked at this, and one thing that they've done with the pond is make it bigger. So the existing facility, the manor, they have provided basically 3 feet of freeboard before it gets into the finished floor. And that building does not have a basement to it, so we're comfortable. I mean, it's a redevelopment and it never had detention in the first place, so we're fine with this request or waiver.
Just to make the record clear, both Mr. Colvin and I are on the board of directors of Greenwood Village South. But unfortunately for us, we don't have any financial compensation that generates from that, so I don't think it's in conflict. Is there a motion to?
I would move that we approve the stormwater request waiver.
Second, further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Nathan. Next, anyone from the audience, either here in the room or online, wish to address us? Hearing none, we'll move on to our Corporation Council status of task.
First item I have for consideration is Aspire, annual contract with Aspire Economic Development and Chamber Alliance. Annual contract, same terms as the previous year, budgeted through the mayor's office at a cost not to exceed $55,000.
I'll move for approval of that.
I'll second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Next item is approval of an annual contract with the Greenwood Community Band, same terms as the previous year, with a total cost of $5,000, which is split evenly between the mayor and council budgets.
Move for approval.
Second, further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next item is approval of the annual contract with the Greenwood Social, same terms as previous years, with a total cost of $50,000, which is split evenly between the mayor and council budgets, authorized the mayor to sign.
So moved.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next item is approval of the annual contract with Johnson County Senior Services, same terms as previous year, with a total cost of $68,000, which is split evenly between the mayor and council budgets, with authorization for the mayor to sign.
Move for approval.
Second, further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next item was approval of a contract for remodeling services with Rick Stevens Builders for the police department gun range at a cost not to exceed $43,685.
What are they doing for $43,000? What's going on there? Not a lot of money.
I believe it's for, they were redoing the viewing area behind the range and putting up ballistic materials, so stop bullets from going to the wall out of the classroom and so forth.
Probably a good thing.
Yeah. I'll move for approval.
Second.
Thanks. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Next is approval of an annual preventive maintenance contract with McAllister Machinery for generators at Department of Public Works in the City Center. There are 4 generators in total, 3 at DPW and 1 here at the City Center. The total cost not to exceed $8,376.
Move for approval.
Second, further discussion? Favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next item, I believe you can approve all at once. There are 3 contracts with Hirons for the city. One is for the sanitary department at a monthly cost of $750. One is for waste maintenance, waste management at a monthly cost of $1,500, and the general city at a monthly cost of $1,600.
Same amount as last year.
Yes.
So moved.
Second.
That's close. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
And the final item that I have for you is a final release and settlement with Nationwide Insurance for a total amount of $15,000 for bond drawdown to IHR Builders LLC.
For approval.
Second, where is this at?
So that is an avenue sidewalk issue.
Where they didn't complete it, right?
Don't beat Dallas.
Okay.
Thank you. Second, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
That's it for Corporation Council.
Thank you.
City engineer status of task.
We have a request for approval of agreement between Lennar Development and the city for restricted donation for 2 future roundabouts that are impacted by their development. The restricted donation is in the amount of $312,000. And we're requesting approval for preparing the agreement and authorizing the mayor or deputy mayor to sign the agreement.
I move for approval.
To second that. So, in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. And you had something else, didn't you?
Yes. Before this meeting, we received a phone call from Duke Energy. They have a facility on Worksville Road between Shrike and Emerson on the north side, opposite of their substation. They had I guess a kind of a switchgear fail on that. They're planning on replacing that on Sunday. They wanted to do on Sunday, so hopefully the traffic would not be, very low at that point. So what they're proposing is the westbound lanes, they'd have to close both those lanes because their equipment that they use has outriggers and it'll pretty much take up both of the lanes. They anticipate doing it this Sunday, starting at 7 o'clock, and they said they should be done by noon. They will be providing traffic control there. I'll ask them to put, maybe type 3 barricades and maybe have, detour or some information. I will get in contact with them again tomorrow and have them get a right-of-way permit from us to get that process.
Terry, anything else you see on that?
I mean, it's just,
It is what it is.
yeah, it needs to be taken care of. There's never a good time on that road. It is what it is.
If only they acted as fast with our request to them as we are acting
We have to let them know that.
on theirs. That should be duly noted.
That's for record, isn't it?
I would move that we approve the request to close the road on this Sunday.
Second, for the discussion. Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Anything else from your office, Jeff? Nothing? Greg, you're up.
Good evening. One item for me, the appendix to engagement letter with Baker Tilly for our preparation of the 2024 financial statements. This is one that we've had the last couple of years. We do have a master service agreement with them, so this is the approving the scope for this particular year's project. It's usually split the cost between the utilities and the city funds.
That's what we're doing this year.
Pretty much the same scope of work.
Basically, yeah.
For approval,
I'll second that.
further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Passes.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Anything else to come before the board? If not, we'll listen to Mr. Collin.
We approve the claims as presented.
I'll second that. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We'll stand adjourned then at 5:53 PM. Thank you all.